Hello and welcome to Fresh Perspectives. My name is Gail, and this week I finally found my Northern Chautauqua Canine Rescue t-shirt that had been missing for a while. I finally found it when I was looking for something else. Isn't that the way it always happens? But I knew since I found it I would have to wear it today because my guests are Patty Benton and a girl named Rue, and they are here today to represent the Northern Chautauqua Canine Rescue. Thank you for coming on with Rue today, Patty.
Well, thanks for having us, Gail. We're always happy to show up.
Yeah, well, we're always happy to do an episode of Fresh Perspectives with you too. So, Rue, you said was homeless.
Yes, that's. I think it's been about a year, or maybe it'll be a year in the summer. There was a couple who were basically homeless, and they were kind of just found at a vacant house and were hanging out. And the person who owned the house found out, called the police. The police came. The people left, and they left 4 dogs and at least 1 cat, maybe 2 cats. I can't remember because we don't take the cats in.
Right.
I think the kitty downtown took the cats in, and we got 4 female dogs that one looked like her, and then it might have been one of her offspring, and then there were 2 others. So we had her and 3 other females. So, and none of them were spayed, nobody had had any vaccinations, and they all had Lyme disease from, you get that from being bitten by a tick.
Oh, yeah.
And so Rue and her family came to, her dog family, I don't know what happened to the couple, they moved on, and so the dog family came to live at our shelter, and 3 of them have been adopted and are doing well in their new places.
And Rue is
still
member
waiting.
Of that family that's
still
looking for a home.
She's probably got some cattle dog, at least quite a bit of cattle dog probably, and she can be, we don't know how she'd be with cats, although she lived with cats, but if they also had 3 dogs and and they were homeless, we don't know how, was it a happy living with cats, or did she terrorize the cats? So we're really not sure how she does with cats. And she does have a tendency, because of her, most of what her breed is, to be a little grabby. I hate to say nippy, because it's not a nip, it's more like a, just, hey, I want you to...
Just grabbing a hold of somebody.
Yeah, I want you to come this way.
Not biting.
Not biting, no,
people.
Just... she'll get a hold of your hand or, your pant leg and, try to direct you to where she thinks you should be. But, I took her last week to the Inn and Suites where I was, I thought, well, I'll just have to watch out when people are going by that she doesn't, grab onto somebody. But I mean, she was totally sweet. She was great with little kids, because little kids came up to her and she was giving people kisses, and she didn't do any of that grabby stuff. So I think it's probably just, when she gets excited,
And maybe she usually does it when she's outdoors, because herding dogs are usually herding cattle outside.
Right. And that's what they do. They get their attention by grabbing onto them. So
yeah.
But anyway, her, the other 3 are all living happily ever after and have adjusted to, being a house dog. And so there's hope for you, Rue. Just got to get the right
And she
fit.
seems fairly well potty trained, does she?
She does, yeah. She doesn't, they are there for, it can be like 11-hour stretch between when someone's there at night and when someone comes in the morning. And she usually can hold it. So that's pretty amazing, really. Most of the ones that we have do. We have a few that actually we have some that when I come in the morning, that's when they let go. As soon as they see me, they're like, okay, we waited, here we go on the floor. But it's all concrete, we hose it down, so it's not a big deal. But But yeah, so she keeps a pretty neat kennel.
You probably don't have any idea of her age then.
It'll come when he brings up the
Oh,
the
okay.
information.
Okay.
I can't remember. I think maybe we're guessing like 4 or 5, but it'll when he pops it up with all their names on it, we can check on that.
Okay, I just wondered. Let me see now. I guess I broke my ankle before you had that event in November.
Oh, our Christmas event.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was thinking about asking you how that went, since this is the first time you've been on to represent the canine rescue since then.
That went very well. We had leftover decorations from, the big yard sale we have. A lot of people donate. I mean, people donate like crazy, a lot of stuff. And we do get a lot of holiday decorations. And, some people do swoop that stuff up in July, but, we had a lot left over. So we usually pack it up and try to take it somewhere else. But then one of the volunteers had the great idea, like, hey, why don't we do a Christmas shop? And I said, sure, okay. Well, she goes to Florida for the winter. So I said, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And
was she still here when you had it?
No, she was already in Florida. So
it was her idea,
yeah, it was her
but
idea.
she wasn't here.
No. Well, I give her credit. It was a great idea, and I didn't mind taking it on because we had it in the learning center, so we had an electric fireplace going, and I have people, other volunteers. I'm not me. I'm not crafty or creative. But they decorated, with the stuff that we had, so it was, the fireplace was decorated and the place was decorated. And we had somebody that, I think it was Marcia's granddaughter or niece or somebody that bakes cookies professionally, made us couple big boxes of beautiful cookies.
Oh.
So we had those complimentary cookies, and we had hot cocoa. It was vegan. And we had punch.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So we did sell, probably, I don't know, we had a lot of stuff, and we probably sold like 2/3 of it.
Oh, well, that's good.
So we'll keep the rest of it, and we'll try again at the yard sale. But I think we're going to do the Christmas thing, make it an annual thing.
Oh, okay.
And we probably won't need to advertise for people to give us things. We'll see how it goes. If we do, then we will, say, hey, if you have any Christmas decorations you want to unload. But people are still welcome to bring all that stuff in July for the yard sale.
Yeah, I was disappointed because I wasn't able to be out walking around to anything. I missed everything I had planned on going to
that's too
in
bad.
November and December. So,
Yeah, that was tough.
But that's the way it goes,
There's really probably no convenient time to break your ankle. But,
No, there probably isn't. At the time, I thought this couldn't have happened at a worse time. But then again, it's always going to ruin some sort of plans when it happens.
I guess I'd want to do it in September so I wouldn't have to rake leaves. That's my worst.
Oh, really?
My worst outdoor chore.
You don't like to rake leaves?
Don't enjoy raking leaves,
okay.
but.
Do you like to mow the lawn?
Yeah, I don't mind mowing the lawn. I don't mind shoveling snow. And we have a snowblower. I don't mind. I don't mind winter at all.
But you don't like to rake
Just those leaves, yeah. It's no fun.
And, well, that would be just about right then in September, because
sure. So I'll plan. If I'm
because that'd be just ahead of when the leaves
Yeah,
fall on
yeah.
the ground.
So I'll keep that in mind if I'm going to break something.
Yeah.
Try to look at her now.
Do you keep a journal? You could can write it down. If I break an ankle,
Yeah.
it will happen in the first half of September.
Now, you know what, though? It's like, you had to have surgery, right? To
Right,
Put it back. Yeah, that's the thing anymore. Like, you can't just break a bone and get a cast. They always want to go in and wire you back together somehow,
Yeah,
it seems.
well, it depends on if it's broken all the way through or not. In this case, mine it was a nasty fall.
Yeah.
I just came right down
Ouch.
on that foot with, and somehow it caused it to go just really fast and hard, twist out to the left.
Ouch.
And that's really farther than a foot is supposed to
Yeah,
be able
right.
to turn to.
Right,
So, so it was kind of a nasty fall. So,
Well, I'm glad you're better.
yeah, I am too. What was it? I got a phone call last week one day from some friends of ours saying how happy they were to be able to see me on TV again with new episodes.
Oh, good.
Fortunately, I had way over 200 episodes made, so I was able to pick out like some of the best ones for Chris to show during. Yeah, that makes me think, now sometimes animals have accidents where they break a bone.
Yeah, we haven't had any of that at the shelter.
Good.
I know my dog's at home though. I mean, they'll go out and they, next thing I know, they're limping. And I always think, well, we'll wait a few days because I mean, they can, I don't know.
Sometimes if it's just a sprain or something.
So,
yeah.
So far, knock on wood, nobody at my house has. Oh, do you want to come up? Nobody at my house has hurt themselves bad enough for veterinary intervention. What are you doing?
Oh, that's
Rue?
good. That's good.
You think you're a lap dog? Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's see if you can do it. Come on.
Sometimes you'll hear about a horse.
Come on.
Maybe being chased by a coyote or something, so they're running to get away from it, and then they break a leg, and they usually put the horse down.
Yeah, right. It doesn't end well for horses with a broken leg.
Although
so.
I have heard one time when I was at somebody else's house visiting them, we were watching an episode on Animal Planet channel where a horse, I think it was, had broken a leg, and they had made up their mind, the people, that they were going to help the animal heal up.
That's good.
Can't remember if they put a cast on it or what, but they must have. So it did heal up. It's just that I guess it would be an awful full-time, an awful lot more work for the owner to, and it would be about the same with a cow probably too, I would think, but.
Where are you going, Rue? Oh, you're gonna lay down. Okay, now she's behind me, but she's camera
she's still
shy.
here. She's just out of sight. Yeah,
there she is.
So, so anyway, I was admiring Patty's sweatshirt that she's wearing here today. I'm only talking to my dog.
I'm only talking to my dog today.
You see a lot of those kinds of T-shirts in mail order catalogs and things,
My sister gave it to me for my birthday.
Oh, that was nice of her. So, do you have just one sister then?
Oh, no. I have 3 sisters.
Oh, 3 sisters.
5 brothers.
Oh my God.
There's a whole bunch of them.
8 siblings. Yep. Wow, you came from a big family.
And my mother's still alive and kicking. She's 100. She just had her 100th birthday a couple weeks ago.
Oh boy.
So.
Oh boy. You probably had some fun with that.
No, she decided she didn't want anybody to make a big deal out of it. So she caught a cold and she used that as a reason. As an excuse to like, nobody better visit me.
Is she an older sister to you?
No, my mom.
Oh,
my mom.
Oh, your mom.
Is
okay.
100 years old. So yeah, so she didn't want to. Yeah, she didn't want to. I think the brothers and sisters are ages. The oldest is 78 and the youngest is 58.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So we're all old people now.
So there's like 8 of you.
9.
9 of you.
Yeah.
Wow.
9.
Wow. Yeah. Are any of you twins or anything?
No,
really?
Oh, yep, and the same parents. So, yep.
I assume you had pets when you were a kid?
We had cats because my dad really liked cats. My mother is not a person who likes animals.
Oh, okay.
And she says it's, well, I have to clean up after them. But, you know, now that she doesn't, she's not crazy about them. I don't know. I must have got this from my dad, because I certainly,
yeah.
you know, didn't. My mother, no. And I think when I was probably 12 and one of my younger sisters was 7, and we loved dogs. We used to go over and, you know, take care of the neighbor's dog and brush it and take it for walks. And, you know, we would just beg and beg and beg to get a dog. And this is, you know, back in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
When people used to, you know, you had a dog, you tied it outside and it had a dog house, and you threw it a can of food or some kibble once a day or something. And these people that lived up the street, they had a dog that was about a year old, and they didn't want it anymore. Well, the parents didn't want it. The kid wanted it, but she was a teenager. And they're like, well, we're either, you know, you find somebody to take this dog, or we're going to shoot it.
Oh my gosh.
That's the way things were, you know, back in the old days.
You don't want to hear something
No,
like
right,
that.
right. Well, I don't know if they really would have, although I don't doubt it, you know, knowing the way things were back then. And so we begged and begged and begged, can we get the dog? And my mother kept saying, well, we'll see, we'll see. So we'll see, as you know, means probably not, and we're hoping you're going to forget about this when you're a kid. Or, you know, somebody else will take the dog, and then it'll be, oops, too late, you know. So then one day, my older sister and my mom were out shopping, and so my little sister and I went to my dad, who was the soft touch.
Oh, okay.
And said, you know, Daddy, they're gonna kill the dog if we don't take it, or somebody doesn't take it. Can we go get it? And he's just like, yeah, go ahead, go get it. So we went running up the street. We can have the dog. We came to, my brother delivered Courier Express newspapers back then, morning route. And so he had one of those great big huge wooden paper wagons. So we had the dog house. They gave us everything. The dog house, the dish, the chain, you know, a bag of food, whatever. So we had all this stuff piled up in this wagon, and the people lived up a little hill from us. So we're coming down the hill in this giant wagon with this giant dog house. It seemed giant, you know, when I was 12. So, and the dog. And then the dog was with us until, you know, I don't know, years. I was gone away to college, and then my little sister took over, you know, full-time care of him until he passed away of, you know, old age.
Oh, so he had a good long life.
Yeah, he had a pretty good, well, you know, we started out with the doghouse outside in the chain, but then little by little we kept, you know, we want to bring him in at night, you know, because we don't want him to be out at night. So we started bringing him in at night, and then, you know, night got earlier and lasted longer, and I would say within, you know, a couple of years he was basically in the house 99% of the time.
So your mom warmed up to him, did she? Sort of?
She tolerated him, you know, because we did take care of him. I mean, she didn't have to clean up after him or anything. And by then I think, you know, a couple years into it, I had a job, so I was buying whatever he needed.
Oh, okay.
So,
what kind of a dog was it? Or
a
was
mutt.
it just a mixed breed?
He looked like a beagle with some terrier, because he had fluffy hair on his face, and but he had like beagle colors, and he was about the size of a beagle. So just a little mutt.
A mixture.
He was cute. His name was Pepper.
Pepper.
Yeah, Pepper.
Oh yeah. A nephew of mine who lives in Mifflinburg, Pennsylvania, he bought his first house last year. And, well, he already had a black cat that he called Salem. I think the reason he picked a black one when it was a kitten was I guess he watched that when he was real young. He watched that television program called Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and there was a black cat in it whose name was Salem. It was about a teenage girl that was a witch, and she was living with 2 aunts of hers, and they were all witches. So anyway, so he named that cat Salem, and then after he moved into his house that he bought, he went to the an animal shelter and adopted another kitten.
Oh, nice.
That cat is gray and white, and he calls it Pepper.
Oh.
So I guess that's a pretty nice name.
Well, I think when we got Pepper, his name was Peppy.
Peppy?
But the neighbors across the street had a little Chihuahua named Peppy.
Oh,
So we didn't want to have,
you
so we
didn't
just
want this
made it Pepper instead of Peppy.
Pepper, so he'd still come when you called
Yeah,
him.
well, you know.
But not get him confused with
Right. The neighbor's dog, yeah.
the neighbor's dog that you wound up adopting.
No, that was a different, so no, we didn't end up with Peppy, we ended up with Pepper. So,
Pepper, yeah.
So,
Okay, I suppose we probably should move along to the pictures.
The list of Rue's friends.
The rest of the dogs that are at the shelter.
we have quite a few in foster care right now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, there's a lot of, like these guys, okay?
Ramona.
Oh, Ramona, they are so cute. Ramona, they just got here the other day, Wednesday they showed up. They were, I
Are
don't
they
know.
some sort of Chihuahua type?
Yeah,
or some-
Chihuahua, possibly Dachshund mix, Beezus and Ramona. So they were an owner turnover. They're very small, and they're very cute. So they've only been there since Wednesday. So they both need to be. They're 6 months old. So if you want a little tiny dog, and they're adorable, very playful. Only, like I said, 6 months old, and they're sisters, but they don't have to go together, and they'll have to be spayed before they go. So that should be coming up pretty soon. We just got them in. I think we dewormed them, and they'll get up to date on their shots. And
Have they been spayed?
not yet.
Not yet.
They will be soon though. So. Yes, we
Okay.
have them, and then we have
Sanchez.
all these little puppies. There's Sanchez, and I don't know how many, if it goes
It's a
over
litter?
Carlos. It was a litter of Chihuahua mix,
Uh-huh.
and they're in foster care at Marfa's house, I think. And she said she thinks she has them all adopted already, but they're on there. I mean, and it doesn't mean that, when people apply, we have volunteers that check the applications, like they'll call the references, they call the vet. If you've never had an animal and so you don't have a vet, that's not a deal breaker. We'll check other references and
somewhere
just based on your application.
Somewhere along the line, you have to have your first pet.
Right.
So you can't always have already had pets.
But we do have an application online, and unfortunately, it's frustrating for the people who have to, look over the applications. People don't fill them out. It says, give us 3 references, and they don't put anything down. It's like, well, we need something. We need to talk to somebody. We can't, because we don't do home visits. So a lot of places will do a home visit and make sure. And so if your application's not filled out correctly, you might miss out. You're going to miss an opportunity to get one of these cute little dogs that you might want. So anybody that's listening, fill the application out correctly.
I mean, you maybe have friends or neighbors or somebody that you might have pet sat for at some point in time.
Or just people that you work with,
or people that know what kind of a person, if you're a kind and caring person.
Right.
So...
Yeah.
I mean, if you have ever taken care of elderly people in their homes, you could use them for a reference, So there's usually always somebody that can be a reference.
Oh, look at how cute they are.
Let's see, that's
one of those Chihuahua babies. I think there were 7 of them, maybe.
Yeah,
6
that
or 7
first
of
one
them.
at the top is Sanchez. Over to the right,
Yeah, over to the right we have Sanchez
and I guess the next 3 on the next line:
Fernando,
Pedro,
Carlos.
and Carlos, and
then
Ricardo. They've all got Hispanic names.
Right. I don't know who named them, but they're super cute, and you know, that's the thing. Like little tiny dogs go really fast. Then we have Duke.
Duke
and
is Duke.
Duke came in from Indiana, transport.
Is that some sort of a poodle?
Yeah, he's a poodle. He's probably, I think, maybe 20 pounds. Not a real big poodle. He really doesn't like being confined, but when he's out of the kennel, he's quiet and he's clingy. You know, whether he'd have separation anxiety in a house, I don't know, because, you know, we don't have a house, but when he's out of his kennel, he's very quiet and he's good. He likes to go for walks. He's very sweet. He's young. I think he's maybe less than a year old. But he came in last weekend, and I'm the first to arrive on Sunday morning, and another volunteer and I. And he's over on this one side where we have some guillotine doors, so we can just pull it open and
he can run out.
He can run out. So I went over there to check, like, okay, let's see who the new guy is, because I knew he was coming in. And nobody was in there was nothing, no, kennel was empty, the door was shut, the guillotine door was shut. But there was a food dish in there that was empty with a few crumbs in it. Somebody had peed on the floor, and, you know, the blankets were messed up. And I thought, well, where could he be? You know, where is he? Did somebody, you know, what happened to this dog? He was here. It said he came in last night because the person who left said, yeah, he didn't finish his food, so we left it in this kennel for him. So I opened up the guillotine door, and it was, you know, cold, not as cold as today, but it was cold last weekend. And he came in, and we're just like, oh.
He'd been left outside.
He wasn't left outside. He let himself out. So he was able to put his nose or something under the guillotine door and push it up and get outside. So we're just like, oh my God, how long's he been out, you know? Because first we thought, okay, did somebody forget? But then when I'm reading her notes, I'm like, no, she couldn't have forgotten. She said when I left, there was still food, so we left it in there for him. So she went to check on him. And I know this person, I'm like, there's no way she would not have, you know, so how did he? And then I looked at it, and I went in there, and I just tried lifting it up, and I was like, oh.
It went up really easily.
Goes up easily. Yeah. You know, but you don't know what they're going to do. I mean, we get some that'll climb over a fence. I mean, most of them are not like this, but we do have some Houdinis. And this guy, Duke, he was able to get it. So then we had to, you know, you're always outsmarting them, so somebody drilled a hole in the wall, or the little runner where this guillotine door slides up, put a hole in it, so now we put a clip through there so it can't raise up.
Oh,
so
okay.
We had to do that. So, but anyway, Duke, with a person, if he were, I almost brought him today, but I thought, well, Rue's been here for a long time, so I'll bring her. Not that you can even see her.
Well, I think a lot of people, maybe Duke will go quickly, because there are a lot of people that like poodles.
Yeah, and yeah, he does. You know, they don't shed. They are hyperallergenic, I guess. I don't know if he's all poodle, but he looks like, you know, and he's a smaller, not a miniature, but, you know, and he's
maybe a medium-sized poodle.
Yeah, he's very sweet.
You know, I've seen full-sized poodles, and they are huge.
They are huge. Yeah,
really, really huge.
They are big dogs.
Huge dogs.
Oh, there's Rue. She's sleeping.
Yeah. It's your television debut, Rue.
Yeah, Rue. Anyway.
Zuz.
I think it's Zoo. Is it Zuzu?
Zuzu.
It's not totally on there. I think that one's in foster.
Uh-huh.
And it might be adopted now. I can't remember. You know, they do go pretty quick, and I get emails from who's ever got them in foster, but I'm not sure.
There's a couple other dogs back. Is Zuzu a male or female?
I am not sure of that either.
Well, anyway, there seems to be.
Let's move on to the ones I know. Okay, Winnie, she's in foster care. She's only been with us for a couple of weeks. Beautiful, white. I'm trying to remember, what's that breed?
Great Pyrenees.
That's it, yeah. So she's probably that. She's very nice.
Yeah, they get to be really, really big.
Yeah.
The Great Pyrenees.
Yeah, so there's you can look on the website, there's information about her, but she's in foster care and she's doing very well there. So somebody took her. And Susie. Susie is a hound dog. She loves to run. She likes to bark. She likes to bark when she's indoors. She barks a lot. But when there's people around or when she's outside, she's quiet. She's just running around, nose to the ground. And she came from out of state. So, whether she just ran off and no one came looking for her, but she's definitely, hound dog through and through. So
yeah, I know.
Hounds.
I remember back when I was a kid, there seemed to be a lot of people around the area that like to go hunting that would have hound dogs. And they didn't really necessarily keep them as pets. They'd
they used
be
to
kind
keep
of
them in a cage,
cage or something when they weren't out hunting with them.
Yeah.
And I guess people used to hunt raccoons and
it's bad.
Use a dog.
Let's not talk about
to
hunting.
get them off a tree.
Let's just talk about
a memory. Memories pop into my head.
Well, I think instead of hunting, Susie could be a nice running partner for somebody, or just like doing maybe agility, or they do like a nose work thing where they just you hide stuff around the yard and she goes and finds it. Maybe she could do some type of work. But not hunting. Let's not hunt. We don't like hunting.
Probably not as a sled dog, but
no, we don't like. I don't like
maybe
that
in
either.
the spring she could help you pick up sticks in the yard to get them out of the way so that you could mow your lawn. So
we've been buried in snow. So okay, this guy is, I think, Jimmy.
Yeah, is that,
Jimmy Carter.
Did somebody put an ornament on Jimmy? What is that blue on the right-hand picture?
Blue? No, I don't think so.
You think that's just the way?
Oh, it's over here? There's something in the background.
No, it's in front, the right-hand picture from where we're sitting.
I can't see anything. It looks like maybe he's got something on his head, or it might just be the way
It looks like somebody tried to put a headband on.
Because he's got really dark hair. Maybe the picture just sort of turned blue right there because he's so close.
Maybe that's it.
Anyway, if you like huskies, this guy is your guy. He is so much fun. He loves to play in the snow and run, and he's very, very sweet. He'd be a good, walking, running partner. He's a really nice guy.
And he's got beautiful blue eyes.
He is a beautiful dog.
And how old is he?
He's young. He's maybe a year, 2 at the most.
Justice
and Jeb, they came in together. Oh, they've been there a long time. So I think we have a program where we're really trying to get some of these, less adoptable ones out. Like they're very shy with people.
Oh.
You'd have to have a fenced yard. You have to have a lot of patience. They don't like to have a leash on, so, but they seem pretty happy at the shelter. They live together, they're brothers, and Jeb and Justice.
Okay, yeah. Justice and...
They came from some person that thought they had a backyard rescue, and they were
look totally,
just... they
totally
do look different.
Well,
we used to have their parents, and the dad was looked like a big shepherd, and the mom was a smaller lab type looking dog. So we don't really know what
one of them looks like one parent.
Yeah, and one looks like the other. They've got all kinds of mix in there, and we had their sister too. So the rest of the family's been adopted except for Jeb and Justice, and they really are. That's going to be a tough one because they're so shy with people, and they really don't like to be petted. They're not cuddly.
Oh.
So, it would take a lot of patience. It's not to say that they wouldn't come around in a home. I mean, they probably eventually would. Because, we have the one at home that we took home that she doesn't enjoy being petted, but other than that, she's like a great dog. She comes when she's called. She sleeps in our room. She plays with the other dogs. She's housebroken 99% of the time. So, some of them just have these quirks from the way they were treated or not treated or ignored sometimes.
That's
Jeb and Justice. So they've been there for a couple years. Oh, that's Sasha.
Sasha?
Okay, Sasha came to us from owner turnover. It turned out she was pregnant. She had puppies, 8 puppies. All the puppies have been recently adopted. She'll still need to be spayed. That'll be coming up soon. And, but she, somebody could still adopt her. A lot of times, they can adopt and then, or else wait till the spay and then pick them up either right after that or, a few days later. So
she has interesting looking ears.
She's a really nice dog. She's very sweet and she loves people. So she'd be a good companion.
Is she a small dog?
Probably 45, 50 pounds.
Maybe
medium-sized dog.
That's a nice name, Sasha.
Yeah.
Quinn.
Quinn is a little nut job. She's got this little dog. She's, I don't know, bulldog mix. She's small, but she's all muscle. And she can jump, like when I stand up, she's down here in her kennel. She can jump up and look me in the eye.
Yeah.
She's really bouncy.
Some dogs are able to jump.
She's very food motivated. Like I don't even put her on if you try to put her on a leash in the kennel, she just wants to play tug of war. But I have found that if I distract her with a treat and get her away from the other dogs, like I'll take her out into the front area and then put the leash and stuff on her, and then she's fine and she likes to go for walks. But she's very food motivated. So usually when I'm letting them out just to go potty and letting them back in, I just show her a treat and I go, "Come on, Quinn," and she'll just go out with me. And then when I say, "Come on, we're going back in," I go, "In your house," she runs right into her kennel. The door's open, she runs in, she sits down, and she waits for me to toss the treat. So she's smart, but she did get adopted, but the guy had another one like her, and they did a meet and greet, and that went okay, but then once she was in the house, like she's so playful and wanted to, she was just pestering the other dog, and
oh, I see.
Didn't, and he wasn't having it, so it didn't work out, but. So I don't know if it says she should be an only dog or, if she had another dog that was as active as she is, then it might work out.
And this is Buddy?
Buddy, he must be is this a courtesy listing?
It is.
I don't recognize
it said
Buddy.
It was courtesy.
Yeah, so these are,
okay.
People usually have these in their homes and they're looking to rehome or, they're fostering for maybe another shelter. Like I know the Sherman shelter, we help them out a lot. And so you could contact our shelter and then we could get you hooked up with wherever he is to go do a meet and greet if you were interested. We have, I think there's quite a few. Yeah, Coco courtesy listing. So I've never seen these guys, really don't know much about them.
This one looks similar to Rue. A little bit, maybe?
I don't know what that one is. He looks more, maybe, I don't know. Pit bull? What is he? Coco, female pit bull. Okay.
Oh, a female
4 years old, fully vaccinated, found abandoned building with her litter of pups. Oh, how sad. So, yeah. And, we've had other ones that are courtesy listings where people find a stray and rather than, bring it to the shelter, they just hang on to it and say, I have this dog, I can't keep it, but, if you can list it and try to get it adopted. And they'll keep it, basically foster it until it can be adopted.
Bella.
Yeah, she's another one that's in foster. She's beautiful.
She looks like a pit bull, maybe.
I don't know Bella, so.
So some of these are not at the shelter.
No.
But you can refer people that are interested.
Yeah, if they're on our website, you can, inquire about them and we'll get you fixed up with wherever those guys are. But there's got to be more beauty. She's so pretty. She's a Norwegian elk hound, probably a purebred. She came from a puppy mill, so she's a female, but she's been spayed. When she came in, I think we talked about her, I don't know, maybe the last time. She was so dehydrated and emaciated, her hair was coming out. Like they just used her to have litter after litter because they could sell them. And after she got some good nutrition and some proper care and medication, she is just a gorgeous dog. She's like a show dog. I mean, and she loves people. So she's a great dog.
And you said that she's some sort of a Norwegian
elk hound.
Elk hound.
But she's not real big. I mean, the males can get bigger. And she's probably about 50 pounds, so not a real big dog. You say elk hound, you'd think, oh, it must be this giant thing, but they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have more?
I thought I saw more there. Let's see.
Benton.
Oh, Mac.
Mac, he's another courtesy listing.
Yeah,
So,
he's another one with
he's pretty.
interesting looking ears.
That looks like somebody's house though, so he must be in foster care.
Looks like Christmas decorations behind him.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Wait, go back.
Okay.
Okay,
Sakara.
Sakara and Luca, they are beautiful. They are in foster care with one of our volunteers. But it says available soon, so I don't know what she's working on with them. You know, socialization. I know this person has a huge outdoor area with a giant
So they're
house.
litter mates, are they?
I'm not sure.
They are very pretty.
Yeah, they're beautiful. So, and we had, you know, we just had the last time I was here, well, for over a year, we had 2 huskies, and they were like 9 and 10 years old, a male, female, and they were bonded pairs. So we were looking for a home together, and they got adopted short, you know, but it didn't last because the people had other huskies that were in the family that came to visit, and they didn't get along.
Oh.
However, last week, there was a lady who, from up near Buffalo, and she was interested in Jimmy Carter, the husky, the young husky.
Oh, okay.
But then she said, well, what are these other huskies? And we had Kavik and Macy. And she said, well, maybe I'll take a look at them. What's their story? And so we told the story, and she's like, well, that's, you know. So she opened her heart, took both of them. She's got a big fenced yard, and she just reported this week they're doing great. You know, they love the snow, and she can't believe what nice dogs they are.
Oh, good,
Yeah,
good.
so,
Well, I'm glad that worked out
Yeah.
for them.
so they had a, you know, and that is, I mean, they've been there for over a year, you know, and so, I mean, and that's what we do. We'll keep them until we find the right fit. And sometimes it takes, you know, when you're going to adopt 2 older dogs, huskies, it's a lot of hair.
Oh, I know. We've in the past years we had a couple of dogs that were half husky. You're sweeping the floor
Yeah,
all
that's
the
it.
time.
You can brush them, and then you can go brush them again, and then you can go brush them again, and yeah, they're just
Yeah, you spend a lot of time outside brushing
it's a
them, not
lot of-
inside the
yeah.
house. Yeah.
can start knitting sweaters out of it. I don't know.
Well, you know.
Okay, there's Sarge.
Sarge.
So Sarge was here last time. He's still with us. He's great. He doesn't get along with all other dogs, which is, you know, so we're probably like, you know, look at this picture. Oh, so Jordan took him into the office one day because, you know, he really likes to just lay around. He would be a great couch potato dog, but he likes to go for walks. He's the one I take for walks on the beach when we had nicer weather. And but he also likes to just lay around. And he's kind of a big dog, but he's super sweet. He doesn't like all other dogs, but he likes some dogs. So, you know, it would just depend. There we are at the beach the one day I took him, or a couple days. I used to take him every Sunday when we still had, you know, nice weather. But then we got winter, and we haven't been to the beach. But he got to go to the Inn and Suites last weekend for the event.
Oh, that was nice for him.
So he's a good boy. And he's older too. He's probably like 7 or 8 years old. And he was a local turnover.
Oh.
Sarge, Benton. Oh, here we have Rue. So we can see how old Rue is. What are we saying about Rue? All right, okay. So she's been here almost a year. And they couldn't care for her because they didn't have a house. Friendly people.
Oh, yeah.
It says approximately, and then it's not on the screen how old, a year-old female Australian cattle dog. So, and she does like other dogs, and she does have a tendency to play. It was probably her daughter. We had Meg, and Meg looked just like Rue, only small, only thinner. And they used to go out together and play, but they would really wrestle and play. But you know, dogs like to do that. So
Yeah.
6 to 7 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 6 to 7 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's still got a lot of. You know, she's pretty relaxed now. But you know, this is like a treat for her to get to get out of there, go for a car ride. She couldn't wait to get in the car, but I made her go pee first. And she loves to ride in the car. She just rode right next to me. Doesn't bother me while I'm driving. She puts her head down on the armrest and takes a little nap, and then pops right out of the car. So, likes to ride, likes to walk. Well, that's Benton. Benton is very shy, and he would have to go to a home that has another dog because he really likes to follow somebody around.
He's been at the shelter for a long time.
Yeah, he's been there a long
hasn't
time.
he?
Yeah, he had probably a sister or maybe his mother. He's one that came from that horrible, there was every now and then one of these stories, some guy in Ohio had 60 dogs and a bunch of dead animals on his property. He got arrested, and so the ones that were alive got spread out over whoever could take some in, and we took him and Morgan was adopted a long time ago, and she had, both of her eyes were blue. So that's Benton, and he's a nice boy. I'd take any one of these guys home, but I already have 5.
Yeah. You don't want to turn into an
hoarder.
episode of hoarding buried alive as a dog hoarder.
Right.
Yeah.
That's everything.
Oh,
That's
okay.
everybody?
That's all of them.
Okay.
Okay.
So how much time do we have left?
10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes. Okay, so
Yeah.
I can talk about the upcoming the yard sale. It'll be the end of July. It's always the last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in July.
The same one as the
same as the Arts and Crafts
Festival in the
in
Village
Westfield.
Park.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this year we'll advertise. I don't know the dates. I have it written down at home. The dates when we're going to start taking in the items, but it's going to be a short. We used to do like a whole month, and it's just too much. So we're going to do like 2 weeks of intake. And
the last 2 weeks before the actual yard sale.
Yeah, well, I think we need like 4 or 5 days to do the pricing after we do the cutoff. But there's always people that, I didn't know, and really bring stuff, so we kind of let it go a little longer, but we try to end it, like the Monday before the next weekend, so that we have time to get everything put where it's supposed to go. But this year it should be. Each year that we do it, we get a little. We look at how did it go last year, and what can we do different to make it easier this year.
Yeah.
So we've got some ideas. We've already put some into place. We rent tents, and we used to borrow tables from a church, but sometimes the church couldn't let us have the tables right away because they had an event.
Oh yeah.
Like a wedding, or we have a funeral now and we need the tables for the the after the luncheon, and so I didn't want to depend on that, and we've been renting tents from a place in Jamestown, and they also rent tables. So this year I said, let's just rent the tables so we can have all the tents and all the tables and everything in place before we start taking in donations.
Oh yeah.
So then it'll be much easier. So the volunteers who are there can just take the box of donations, open it up, put it, and the other thing, we used to try to price it and then put it. So this year we're going to just put it where it goes, and we have departments,
and then go around and price
then the
it.
last week that we have before it, then I want you to go do the appliances, because that's the other thing that used to happen is, like, if you're there one day and I'm there the next day and somebody donates a Keurig coffee pot and you take it out of the box, you're like, oh, well, I'd pay $10 for this. So you put $10 on it. The next day we get one in and somebody goes, $5. So now you've got like two identical things or close to, you know, sitting
With
on
two
the,
totally different prices.
yeah, with different prices. So I thought, you know what, we're just going to put it all out there, and then if you're comfortable doing appliances and you're comfortable doing like dog stuff and you want to do holiday, I'll give people can have an assignment like you price this, you price this, you price this, you know, and just go and price it, and then it'll be ready to go. So
Yeah, I've been thinking. Well, I've had a lot of time to think this winter. I've been thinking of things that I have that would make good yard sale items for you.
well, bring them down. Like it'll be, you know, we'll advertise. I mean, there'll be see signs around. The signs won't say when the donations will be, but it'll be on our website. You know, and what we don't take books. We try not to, but you know, somebody always throws a book in the bottom of a box, and what are you going to do? So
maybe they do it on purpose.
Open up the box real fast, say, "Hey, get your book out of here!" No, we can't. We try to be. You got to be nice. You know, people are donating, and they're so generous. We really appreciate how much support we get. So, you know, and then we go through, and I mean, sometimes it's like great, and sometimes there's a mouse nest in the bottom of the Christmas decorations.
Ew.
And, you know, so it would be nice if people checked through, but
Yeah.
you know, sometimes when you're somebody passed away and they're cleaning out, and you know, these boxes have been boxed up forever, and they just go, "Oh, it says Christmas decoration. We'll just bring it down." You know, and they don't even look through it first. They just bring it.
Yeah. So do you throw the whole box of stuff out
we
if
try to,
there's a
you
mouse
know-
nest in it? Because I mean, that's pretty gross.
It
you
is
know?
gross. It depends on how, you know, like what's on top, and can I wash it? I mean, I've taken.
Yeah.
I mean, we get a lot of coffee mugs and stuff like that, and sometimes we'll get a whole box and they're full of dust and dirt, and I just go, okay, you know, I don't want to do this, but I take it over the shelter, and you know, we have a sink and soap and all that stuff.
And you wash.
I just wash them and
wash
then
the stuff.
wash
if
them
it's
and dry them and
washable.
bring them back over, and you know, try to sell it, because you know, it's all worth $1 or $2. So.
You also do not take mattresses or clothing.
No clothing, no books, no like electronics like computers and TVs, because there's no way we know if that stuff is going to work, you know. But we'll take stuff like electric fan, because we can plug it in and see if it's going to work. And you know, but if it's a TV, you can plug it in. You don't know, you know, if it's not hooked up to an antenna or anything. And so none of that. But so no like printers, computers, monitors, televisions. We really don't want to take stereo equipment, although last year we got stuck with some, and I think somebody did buy some of it. I don't remember. You know I was taking stuff to the Salvation Army when it was over with, because we do just, you know, rural ministry takes some of the stuff, and then they have a store, and I think they help people that don't have anything. And the Salvation Army takes some, and I think we've given some to a thrift shop before. So we do disperse, you know, nothing gets like thrown. Sometimes it will get thrown, like if it's broken, you know. But we've even taken in, like last year we glued a table back together. We're like, you know, it's a nice table, it's got a broken leg, and it's just like, you know, so we got some wood glue and we glued it back together and said, you know, hey, this is, you know, this is as is, you know, $5. So, but it's sold. So we try to do as much as we can with what is donated, you know.
Yeah.
And then we always have a free pile too. Like if it's something that we really don't think anybody would pay, even because we don't want anything less than $1, you know. So it's got to be $1. And if it's, you know, but we'll bundle stuff too. You know, you can have all of these for $1. But if it's really just like no one's going to buy this, we put it in a big swimming pool, plastic swimming pool, and we haul these things out, and it's the free pile. And people will go through that, and little kids too, like kids that come, they can't wait, and some of the stuff that kids would like will end up in the free pile. So we manage to, but we do appreciate everything that people donate. So
There were a lot of purses last
Yeah,
year.
we get a lot of purses, luggage.
You're okay with the purses?
Yeah, we're okay with purses, jewelry. We have somebody that'll, we have volunteers that know about different things, so we, or collectibles.
There were a bunch of purses that looked like they were probably originally pretty expensive purses.
We do get a lot.
But the ones that I'm referring to in particular looked like they were obviously leather.
Oh, yeah.
So
right.
They were really pretty purses and everything, but my conscience wouldn't let me buy leather ones. So.
Well, and so sporting goods, bicycles, toys, puzzles. We get a lot of puzzles. But people they'll do the little jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
And then, I'm done with that, so they donate it, and those sell. CDs, DVDs. We did get some.
I think those puzzles are popular with people also.
They are. So those sell. I mean, we'll have a whole shelf full of them, and they sell. And we get a lot of CDs, and we sell those really cheap. So if you want music, instead of paying $12 or $15, come to the yard sale and look through our.
Do you still take? I know you take DVDs.
Yeah.
Do you still take the old videos, the VHS?
No. We really don't want to. Sometimes, like I said, it's in the bottom of the box, and then, those can go in the free box. Those will end up in the free pile, and then they'll end up in the dumpster. So you could do us a favor and not bring those.
I just wondered because so many people have such an accumulation of the things, and then they don't have that kind of a video player anymore. So
yeah, we have both. We still have some of those, and we have the player. But do we ever look at them? No. So I don't know.
Well, they're easier. The ones that are discs, the DVDs, are easier to because people always had to rewind.
Yeah.
The older videos.
Right.
But
and they would get like messed up too,
Yeah, they.
Or you accidentally tape over it.
Yeah, you could actually. I mean, I had exercise videos that I used so much because I loved exercising with them that they just wore out after a while. So. Well, I hate to say it because I've been having so much fun talking about all of this stuff, but we've come to the end of another episode of Fresh Perspectives, and thank you again, you and Rue. Thank you, Rue, for participating in an episode of Fresh Perspectives, and I will see those of you in the audience when we do the next episode.